All right, welcome back, guys. We're going into part 9 of this. I know we're kind of getting a little long-winded here, but there is so much to know about 12 leads that we don't teach. And the most important part is that the 12 lead misses two real important parts of the heart: the right side of the heart and the back wall of the heart. Okay, we don't usually take a look at those. All right, and I don't exactly know why that reasoning is. But I can tell you right now, it's a simple fix. And as a disciple of Paige, I can tell you I'm a 100% advocate of what I'm about to teach you, okay? 100% advocate of it. You need to be doing it. Well, Scott, we don't see it. Well, I'm going to give you the reasons why today. You're going to have the ammunition that you need to do your thing. And they're probably going to look at you and say, yeah, it doesn't really count. Yeah, well, that's because they don't understand it. All right. So it's the 15 lead EKG. All right. Now, again, we're going to talk about all these lovely things. And again, if you're doing treatments without knowing if the right wall is involved or the back wall is involved, like we talked about in the last video, you're potentially putting your patient in serious danger. Okay. You truly are. You're doing the wrong thing for the patient. There's some patients that we need to fluid restrict. There's other patients we need to make sure we give them a bunch of fluid. We don't need to give them nitrates. We do need to give nitrates. Both of these are so very important. There we go. All right. So, with me saying that, let's get on to why it is that we're going to be doing a 15 lead EKG. 12 leads alone, ladies and gentlemen, miss 1/2 of the people having an MI. Kind of scary, isn't it? So with the 15 lead, we increase that to, instead of 2 out of 4, we get 3 out of 4. Okay? So 23 out of 100 could be diagnosed if we just 3 stickers, 21 seconds. Okay? That's how long it should take you to do that. Okay? It doesn't take long to do this. All right? Yeah, is it a little bit more work? Absolutely. But if you're one of those 23 people, you are going to probably end up saving their life. All right? Now, how do I run the 15 lead? So I run my 12 lead like normal, okay? We got to have the 12 lead, the normal 12 lead to start with. So how do I run the 15 lead? So I take my V4, which is again at the 5th intercostal space, mid-clavicular line. I take my V4 and I move it over to the right side, 5th intercostal space, on the right mid-clavicular line, okay? It's on the right side, all right? Attach the V4 wire to the V4R position, okay? Now, the other two leads, take 5 and 6 off and put them on V8, V9. Again, the V8 is at the 5th intercostal space, mid-scapular line, and then V9 goes between the spine and at the 5th intercostal, and V8, all right? Now, truth be known, can we go all the way around and do a 24 lead? Actually, you can, okay? But as far as camera angles, the ones that are going to be telling us the most are these guys, okay? By moving it to here, I get to look, and if I draw my picture here, color, there we go. All right. So again, by putting V4R here, I'm now taking a picture directly of the right wall, okay? By attaching 8 and 9, I'm taking a picture of the posterior wall, okay? So again, by the way, when you run this, you're actually going to run your 12 lead, and it's going to print out like normal. Except when you get over to this side right here, the only thing you need to do is take your pen, and then there again, this is going to have the 4, the V5, V6, and all you're going to do is scratch that out and write V8, V9, and then behind V4, you're going to put an R behind it, okay? So you're going to scratch out those, and you're going to put that in. By switching these leads, okay, I have now looked at both the posterior wall and the right wall. How long does it again to take me to do this? This is about, again, 21 seconds was the average that they did it with. So the chances of me picking up another heart attack goes up literally almost 25%. All right. So, but again, we don't look at the right wall and the posterior wall on a normal 12 lead EKG. Okay. So make sure, by the way, when you do this, again, relabel this. All right. So at this point, I've now looked at all of the major walls of the heart. Okay. So your right ventricle gets its blood supply from the right coronary artery, and again, 50% of inferior MIs also have a right wall involvement, okay? Which is going to cause preload problems, all right? In other words, the blood coming back to the heart is going to be compromised. It's going to cause problems. Again, use nitrates with extreme caution. Let's go ahead and just cross that out and say, until you get a lot better at it, I'd say until I get a liter of fluid in them, there is no way I'm giving them nitrates. And if it's actually right ventricular infarction, if it's actually the right wall that's been damaged, it's actually now contraindicated. Don't give them nitro. All right? No nitroglycerin. Period. Don't give it to them. All right? And then again, 1 liter is definitely indicated in this patient. All right. Now, again, what am I going to see? I'm going to see jugular vein distension. I'm going to see hypotension, but I'm going to have clear lung sounds. Okay. So I don't have a congestive heart failure situation yet. And again, this person is going to greatly be influenced and get better by giving them a liter of fluid. All right. They're going to get better by you doing that, all right? But Scott, they're backed up. They got their jugular veins distended. Understood. But again, they still got clear lung sounds. The more that we can keep filling that left ventricle, the better in this case, until we can get the patient reperfused. Very important point here. All right, so we did a 15 lead EKG here. Yeah, well, I'd say that the inferior wall is definitely in play here. But then I also did it here. Not only do I have the inferior wall, but I got the right wall and the posterior wall both showing signs of damage. Again, do you think that I'm going to have some major problems with fluid backup and filling the left ventricle at this point? You're definitely going to have major issues, okay? Again, so let's practice a little bit here. Let's see here. Oh, yep, 2-3 AVF, definitely for sure. Oh, let's see here. Oh, look at that, depression. Ooh, that ain't good, by the way. Just FYI, that's not good either. Why isn't it good? Well, again, I've got depressions in AVR, which remember is the camera view kind of like this direction. So to have the depressions there, it means that I've got some massive damage going on. Yeah, not only the V8 and V9 here, yeah, I've got some major elevation there. Yeah, this person's right coronary artery is major blocked up, okay? And again, this guy needs reperfusion therapy yesterday. Wavy baseline that I don't like. Somebody was moving, but I got elevation. So obviously that a right wall is indicated. But if I look at this one, the posterior wall actually looks okay. But this guy right here, I would say it's a little suspect. I would say treat it like that until further noticed, okay? We know for a fact that we've got an inferior wall MI at this point. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's see here. Whoop. Well, good news, 2-3 AVF. And I look over here. Well, actually, I've got some good news here. But I got some bad news right here. So in this case, this is a posterior wall. The good news is that this guy is not affecting the right wall. So that's the good news, okay? We've got more posterior involvement than I do right wall involvement. This is probably due to damage, more than likely, of the distal end. As you remember, they got the right coronary artery and the left coronary artery that goes down. I would say that there's probably damage down here that was going around to the back wall. So it's probably the really proximal end of the left descending that's having the problem here. Oh, let's see here. I'm not seeing anything major there. Let's take a look at here. But I got a lot of depression. V1, V2, V3's got a little bit. So we went ahead and did a right-sided. That one I'm not too sure about, guys, but it's also got a T-wave inversion. I would say that my J point there is this spot right there. So that looks kind of like on the isoelectric line. I'm actually okay. That, though, is elevated. That right there is elevated. So guess what? This guy is having a posterior wall MI. And that's actually a pure posterior wall MI. Oop, 2-3 AVF. I got major depressions there. Oh yeah, major elevation here, here. Depression. Oh, elevation. Hello. Let's see here, elevations. Good news is the right. So this is a posterior wall and an inferior wall. Inferior posterior wall MI. Yuck. It's called a bad day for the cath lab. And this guy right here, he doesn't have any this one actually don't look half bad. Let's see here. Don't see no elevation, no elevations, no depressions. So far so good. Now I'd say normal. He gets to wait for a little bit. Okay. So again, that one there, treat by the story. Okay. All right. That's going to conclude talking about the 15 lead. So when do you do a 15 lead? That seems to be the big question. Paige's take on that is that they got a pulse and a problem. My kind of take on it is yeah, if you got time to do it, absolutely. If you're seeing any sort of ST elevations or depressions that you cannot explain, even if you can't explain them, I would do a 15 lead. Because at that point, you know you got a heart that's got an injury. I want to make sure that it's not affecting the back wall. I want to make sure it's not affecting the right wall so that I'm better prepared to take care of that patient, okay? Again, posterior wall, I'm a little bit more restrictive on my fluid. The right ventricular wall, that one there, lots of fluid. We got to give them 1 liter of fluid at least. All right? So when do I do it? Again, make sure that you do it when you got any type of EKG change, any type. If they're having chest pain and we can't explain it, take a look, all right? 23 out of 100 you're going to catch, all right? That's a significant number, all right? So do it. Check them out, all right? If you don't look for it, I assure you, you will not find it. All right. So when do we do that 15 lead? Near something's funky, go ahead and do it, all right? You're going to hear a lot of paramedics. Oh, we really don't need to do that. No, that's just way overkill. That's way too much. Phooey. No, that is incorrect. Okay. Again, if you don't look for it, you're not going to find it. Long and the short, you have got to look for it. Okay. And anytime that somebody's having chest pain, it's the same as starting an IV or putting them on oxygen. Doing a 15 lead is an appropriate method of treatment, okay? Period. And you're going to meet resistance. But now you're armed with the knowledge to say, yeah, I don't want this guy to be the 23 out of 100 here. No, I'm going to go ahead and do it, all right? And again, you'll be surprised how many times you end up catching an MI because of it. All right, folks, that's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you guys on the next video.